Hello guys, I wanted to give you some instruction on our new method of connecting the servo motors to the Barnabas-Bot body. So just some context here, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the class. Some people may disagree because it's kind of hard to get these motors into here, but the thing is guys, it's all about the process. So I tell all my students and all of our staff as well, it's all about the process. It's all about it not going in the first time, having the screw fall out, but then picking it up off the ground and then finally getting it in there. So that's some context. Now that being said, I do always have that eye and ear open in terms of how do we make it better. So better, not necessarily easier or too easy, but a little better for the kids. So in the past we would use this self-threading servo screw here along with this the nut here. Now we changed it so that we use these new nuts and bolts. Now the big change here is that these screws are longer, okay? And then the other thing is, before you would have a 7/16 inch servo screw for the these motors, but then to put the arm in, you would need a 9/16 inch or a longer screw. So then maybe it got confusing. Which screw do you use? So now we use all the same screw. Okay, they're all the longer ones, but you don't have to worry about how long it is because they're all the same length here. They're all 9/16 inch for those who are interested. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our motors out. There's 3 of these. Okay, cool. We get our body, and then what we do is, with patience, we take our motor, and I like to do the arm first. So put it in like so. Cool. Then we take our bolt and then let's see if we can make sure you get a good view here. Stick it in there, that hole. Okay. All right. See, it's not perfect. It's not going in. Well, thankfully we have a screwdriver. Turn it. Okay, we might need to turn a little bit, you know, get it through the hole. It's going. Alright, we see we're making progress. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now, we turn and keep screwing in. And you can actually see here, it's going through, which is cool. Okay, it's kind of on there, loose, but still kind of on there. And then let's do this hole down here. Alright, I'll put that in. Same process. I'm turning. Okay, it's kind of hard doing it that way. So, okay, I'm turning, and it's in. Okay, now you notice that one, I don't know if you caught that, but when I pushed it, it just kind of went all the way through, instead of like threading into the motor. So what I found with this is that sometimes, and it just might be there's some tolerances on the servo motor, where sometimes it'll thread in and sometimes it'll just, like this one's threading in, where like if I turn it all the way in, it's actually like pretty tight, but then down here it's loose because see, I can just like push it out and push it in. So like that's, you know, if we're building robots, that's not good. You can push your screw in and out like that. So we need tell the kids, nuts and bolts, they go together. So we need to put this over here. Now, this part is the part where the tears could come if we're not practicing perseverance, right? And if we're telling the kids that this is the easiest thing, and if it's not easy, you should throw it on the ground, then it's not going to be a great experience. But if we say we're practicing our motor skills here, our fine motor skills, we're practicing perseverance, we're practicing what it's like to build real-world robots. If you look at robots, I guarantee you, a lot of nuts and bolts and like this, and a lot of in places that are kind of inconvenient. So we're practicing that. Okay. So most of the time, people will just take this and say, okay, I need to get it on top of there. So then I'm just gonna try to place it on here. And as you can see, that is not easy to do. Okay, I'm trying to put it on here. My fingers can't get there. I'm trying to put it on. I am so frustrated. Not happening for me. So the problem is that this part right here is sticking up pretty high. And if you try to put a nut right there, it's kind of hard to balance. You know, you got to try to balance it on there. So here's a trick. I take this, and then I unscrew it. I'm going to back it out so that it's almost flush, right? So that the bolt is just barely protruding past the servo. I call it the servo wing right there. So you can see it's just barely. Now, it's a lot easier to balance this. So I'm going to put this over here. Oh wow, I just balanced it on the first try. That's pretty cool. Alright, now what I can do is hold it there so that the nut is in place, and then I screw. Holding it righty-tighty, remember, right? Righty-tighty. And look, we have nut and the bolt together. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side. See, now it's kind of crooked a little bit. See, it's kind of crooked. It's just going to make it hard. Probably because this side right here is a little bit too tight. So I'm going to loosen it a little bit. There, now it stands flat, or at least flat. Alright, let's put this part on. And our arm motor is almost there. Boom. Now, the thing, guys, I don't like to show the kids the easy way to do it. I like to give them the screws and the nuts and have them go for it. Even experience some frustration, because that's part of life, guys. If we learned everything the easy way, we actually wouldn't be learning as much as we could. Anyways, that's just my philosophy. So I like to have them struggle, and then once we've reached that threshold of like we're about to quit, that's when we show them the way. And because the other reason is that sometimes kids will figure it out themselves. Actually, most of the time, we'll have a couple kids just kind of figure it out and then teach each other, which is a really great thing to learn as well. So figuring it out is one, and then also helping others figure it out. Okay, enough of that. We have one motor fully assembled, and it's nice and tight. Great. The next thing is do this side with this motor, and then also the top. So I'm not going to do that because it's basically the same process. Now, the part that I do want to show you is how to put the arm. So this one, a little different too, a little tricky. So first thing I'm going to do is take out the arms here, take it out. Okay, both the same. I'm going to pick one of these arms because I feel like picking this one. Okay, then this one is going to go like this. All right, now it's not going on. We need to fasten it. Same screw as before, or not the same exact screw, but the same type of screw. And so what I do is take this line, and then you see a hole on this side. I'm going to line it up with the hole on the motor, lining up like that. Okay, and then you take this guy and then put it through. So you see it's through there, screw, and then this will go into here. All right, now you got to get it straight on here. If the screw is going at an angle like this, it's not going to quite go into the servo motor, so that's a hint. Now here's the thing, this is not tight at all. You'll see there's a space right here, a gap between the top of the screw and the flat part of the arm. There's too much space there. So we teach kids another concept. We are going to use this nut as the spacer. Okay, so it's going to go in between to fill that gap. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I wanted to show you so that you know why we need that spacer. Okay, because this screw will not go in anymore. This is as far as it will go, and so you add a spacer. Also, common thing in robotics or building any type of, I used to work with automation systems, right? So you got spacers all over the place to make sure everything is in its place and nice and snug. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, a couple ways to do this. The way I like to do it is go ahead and put the nut onto here, and I'm gonna turn it a little bit, kind of get it on there. See? Now you notice I didn't tighten it all the way. Okay, so this would be like all the way tight. But I want to do just slightly on there, but not all the way. Okay, so you can see it's kind of like moves like that. The reason I want to do that is because now it's going to be easier if I go like this, put it on there, okay, and because it's not super tight, I still have a gap right here. Now I can screw it on. Oh, screwing here, and oh, you can hear it. It's doing its thing. Okay, turning. And now I'm done. So you can see the arm is not all loose anymore. You can still turn it, but it's snug enough that once it moves up here, it's going to stay there. Okay, and the way that's supposed to look: screw outside, top of the screw, then you have spacer in the middle, right here. Let's see here. Yeah, spacer right there, and then that's the servo shaft. So you can imagine you do the same thing on this side. Okay, so that's it for now. Hope that's helpful. Again, always open to suggestions. So if you would like to improve the way that we fasten the motors, we're happy to get ideas too. But hopefully that process will be a little better than our first revision. And good luck. And again, have fun persevering in the process of building the robot. See you guys later.